from gravity keeping us grounded to sound waves carrying this very message. Our world is governed by the laws of science. We channel those laws to build better products and technologies, but sometimes science acts in unexpected ways, forcing its will on how goods are distributed in your markets. Think about the 2020 COVID-19 pandemic, a biological phenomenon that instantly disrupted virtually every market and industry. Who, through the fundamental economic forces of supply and demand. Supply and demand govern how buyers and sellers in competitive markets determine how much of a good to trade based on prices. Let's start with demand. The quantity viewers are willing and able to buy at all possible prices. The law of demand describes the behavior of buyers. Imagine your favorite snack. As the price of what is snack rises, the quantity your demand falls. Why? It's simple. You are less willing and less able to buy it. And if the price falls, you demand more. Graphically, this is shown by a downward sloping demand curve. If the price increases, we move up and to the left along the curve, from a high quantity demanded to a low one. Next, we have supply. The quantity producers are willing and able to sell at all possible prices. The law of supply describes the behavior of sellers. Producers want to maximize profit. So, as the price of a good rises, the quantity they are willing to supply also rises. If the price falls, they supply less. For your favorite snack, if the market price is high, firms are incentivized to produce more units. This relationship is represented by an upward sloping supply curve. If the price increases, we map up and to the right along the curve, from a low quantity supply to a greater quantity. Market prices are constantly adjusting to balance the amount buyers want and the amount sellers offer. This balance is found at the equilibrium prices, which is the price where the supply and demand curves intersect. At this point, the quantity supply exactly equals the quantity demand. We call this P and Q the equilibrium price and quantity. This is where the market rests. The rules we just discussed explain movements along a curve. But when a factor other than price affects supply or demand, the entire curve shifts. Example 1. Biology COVID-19. The leisure and hospitality sector was hit hard. We can separate the impact into two types of shock shown in Figure 6: demand factors and supply factors. A decrease in demand, for example, customers avoiding crowded places to prevent catching the virus, causes the demand curve to shift left. A decrease in supply from business partially or fully shutting down causes the supply curve to also shift left. The combination of a decrease in demand and larger decrease in supply results in a definite lower equilibrium quantity. The effect on price is less certain, but often the supply shock can be greater, causing prices to increase, or in this case, a new equilibrium with a higher price. Example 2. Meteorology Hurricane Sandy. When the hurricane hit New Jersey, only 14% of gas stations were operational. This was a severe shock to supply. Assuming demand stayed the same, the loss of operational stations caused the supply curve to shift left. The predicted result, if prices were allowed to adjust, would be a higher price and a lower quantity at the new equilibrium. But here's the key takeaway. Price control interfered. When the governor prohibited stations from increasing prices above pre-hurricane levels, the price was artificially held below the new equilibrium. Sellers had no incentive to bring more gas to the market at that low price, resulting in long lines and stations running out of stock. Whether driven by a virus, a storm, or chemical discovery, markets will always be governed by the laws of supply and demand. Understanding these principles allows us to predict how prices and quantities adjust in the face of unexpected events. Thanks.